Hey y'all, it's your girl Adore Asia and I'm back with another video. And this week it's time to reflect on the last year that we've had. This video we're gonna do our end of year reflection. I'm gonna be pulling from some questions that I got on a website that I'll have the link in the description, so that if you want to do your own end of year reflection, which I highly recommend, you can do so by following the same questions I have and more. I'm only picking a select few from that list because there are so many and I'm not trying to be here all day. So we're gonna hop right in. Question number 1 is, what was a new discovery you made this year, or what did you discover that you've loved? I'm gonna start it off real small. And currently Royce is awake, my son. So if you hear him in the background, well, it's my life now. Something that I came across that I love, it's so small, but it makes such a difference just in the day-to-day. It's nothing crazy, but hot chili oil. I always knew of it, but never thought in my mind to make it. So I learned how to make it. And when I tell you, it's been helpful and it's been nice to have on hand whenever I want to add a little spice or flavor, a certain flavor to a dish. Good stuff right there. So for the longest time, I've always wanted an app or something where I can keep all my recipes without having to write all of them, because you know, everybody's doing all these recipes on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. And I'm just like, dang, I want to try all these recipes and I don't want to have to just save the post and then have to go back and find the post. And I've always said to myself, why can't there be a place where I can like upload recipes, or like just put a link from a website, put it into the program, and then it just extract the recipe. And when I tell you I found it, I'm pretty sure there are probably other apps, but this is the first app that I found and I love it. It's called Recipe Keeper, and it makes condensing recipes and putting them all in one place so helpful. And I love to cook, but I also love to experiment with recipes now. But since I have my son and, you know, he gotta eat good too. So starting the list off small, that's something that it may not seem significant to most people because it's not, but it is something that brought me joy this year. It's the little things, right? The next question, what was one of the biggest pleasant surprises you experienced during the year? One of the biggest pleasant surprises was actually when I went back to work for maternity leave. I was dreading it so bad. One, because I don't like going to work. Not because I don't like work or my job. I just don't want to go to work, period. But the other reason is I didn't want to leave my baby home. You know, it's that important time where you guys are bonding together all the time, and it's just such a beautiful time. And I didn't want to leave him home, or I didn't want to leave him to go to work, as he crunches in the background. In going to work and also not overexerting myself, so I only work 3 times a week or 3 days a week, and it's a happy balance for us and our family. I am appreciative of my job. Wow. It helps remind me that I am more than just a mom. Even though being a mother or being a parent is very important to me, it's a huge part of my identity now. But I have to also remember that there are other parts of my identity. And also that mama needs a break sometimes. Even if I'm doing work, I have a break from, I don't want to say the stresses of I don't want to make it sound so negative, but like, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to be a parent, and especially when you're the main caregiver for the child for most of the day, it's nice to have a break from that. And it helps me to remember, and it helps me to keep intact the other facets of who I am as a person, as an individual. Continuing to go to work, it helps remind me to not let parenthood totally consume me, because like I said, we are more than just one thing, no matter what it is. Even if you're not a parent, right? We are all more than just one thing. We all have different facets that make up our personalities, that make us the individuals that we are. And it's important to not become consumed by any one thing, because too much of anything is not good. All right, so the next question is, What was your favorite purchase of the year and why? Hands down, our trip to Mexico for my birthday was by far my favorite purchase of the year. I mean, I feel like any time that you spend with your significant other is important and valuable and should be cherished and memorable. Though it wasn't our first time out of the country together or our first trip together, it was a very special trip because it was our first trip as parents. It was really nice to be able to reconnect with each other and just have fun, not having to worry about the daily stresses of life. Just totally disconnect from the world, but connect with each other. And it was a beautiful time. I had a lot of fun. I hope we're able to do that more often because it was very beneficial for us and we definitely needed it at the time. So there's that. And next question, what was a new habit or routine you created this year that has improved your efficiency at home or work? I've created the want for a few habits. And I say that because the idea of it is very good. And while I was doing all of it, it was very beneficial for me. But to be honest, I have fallen off a bit. It sucks, but I'm gonna try to get back on, especially in the new year. But that habit would basically be just creating routines. So the act of creating habits and routines also helps with me staying focused and me being efficient at home and at work. Some of the habits that I've turned into routines are yoga, meditation, and reading are the three main things. And there's having my daily cup of tea, making sure I drink enough water, etc., etc. Yoga, meditation, and reading were like my top three that I wanted to start incorporating into my routine because it allows you to be mindful, just having a mindful moment with yourself, as well as tending to your body physically. Just plain old yoga because my body hurts. Meditation so that you have that time to reflect daily, or not even just reflect, but just emptying your mind, because I know for myself, I have a lot of different kinds of thoughts all day long, stressful thoughts, intrusive thoughts. There are some positive thoughts, but for the most part, the negative always tries to flush out the positive. So it becomes very taxing on me, and just having that quiet time to just silence your mind basically allows me to reset, refocus, just recenter myself so that I am able to face my day or have a good night's rest with not a lot running through my mind. And then also reading, because obviously there's knowledge in reading, there's knowledge in books. I've always loved being a student. School was never my favorite part, but I consider myself a student for life. So I wanted to just get back into the swing of things, just exercising my brain a little bit, because once you leave school, it's just like what is really challenging me in life to really think, flex the brain muscle of mine. Those three things, when I had first started doing it, I found that I was more centered, a little more positive, not as irritable, able to, recenter myself in the moment, learn how to cope or react when I was being irritable or sensitive or whatever the case is. It helped me stay focused and helped me achieve anything that I set out to do during that day. So definitely gonna get back into that in the new year. And the next question, what did you ask for help with this year where you're glad that you did? Being a first-time mom, my first year as a mom, I definitely leaned on my village as much as I could because it's hard. Like I said before, it's hard, but also recognizing just when I need my own space, or when I need help, I should say, because you don't know everything and you can't do everything by yourself, right? You can certainly try, but you will be burnt out and stressed. Just to alleviate those feelings, I leaned on my village as much as I could, so that I could stay sane, but also be the best mom for my son. Use your resources if you have them. It is super, super important. Being a parent is not easy. It is not healthy to put so much pressure on yourself to be perfect, because you're not perfect. We are not going to be perfect parents, but we're going to do the best that we can with what we have. That's what I do. So when I ask for help, it's because I know that I need it. I don't see myself any less when I ask for help. I still think I'm a great mom, and I do what's best for my little family. Next question. What relationship was the biggest positive surprise to you this year? I will definitely... So the relationship that was the biggest positive surprise to me this year, I will definitely have to say, are my mom friends. Especially going through such a big life change, to find others who are going through the same thing, who are from similar backgrounds, similar age group. It's exciting for me to not feel like I'm alone, you know? Obviously, I know that other people go through this, but to have my own group of friends, it's exciting, you know? We share funny stories, sad stories together that only us as a little group can understand, because none of our other friends are going through it at the moment. So it's nice for us to come together to talk about things that we can relate to. If we are all not sleeping and I text them at 3 a.m., somebody's gonna reply, because as I was saying, we're all going through a similar experience, right? We come together to share jokes, anything that we're feeling, our fears, things we may feel guilty about, but we're constantly reassuring each other that we are all doing a great job at mothering these babies, and to never lose sight of that, never forget that. But we also support each other a lot, so I am very grateful for them. If you guys are watching, I love you and thank you for being there. Shout out to the Peanut app, because that's how most of us came together. Alrighty, so what simple pleasures have you especially enjoyed this year? I'm gonna have to say solo dolo Target runs, or just any errands for that matter. Grocery store, Target, just anything. If I'm able to do it alone, without having to rush, that's the important part. If I don't have to rush, to have a moment to myself, I'm in a place with strangers, so I don't have to interact with anybody if I don't want to, and just having a moment to walk up and down the aisles or do whatever I'm doing and just relax and not have any extra worries. It's just my quiet time, if you will. Time that I'm able to just focus on what I want to focus on, or just focus on whatever's in the moment and not have to stress about it. When they say it's the small things, it's the simple things, like it really is. So if I've learned anything from my answers to these questions that stuck out to me the most, it's that this year I feel way more aware of my feelings and way more aware of my mental well-being, my state of mind, way more aware of things I know I need that will help me not become consumed by negative thoughts. Trying to find my footing, or trying to be grounded so I can pull strength from somewhere to go through life as best as I can, as successfully as I can. It's been a real journey this year. It has been a real journey. Ups, downs, you name it, but nothing that I can't handle, right? I am happy to have gone through the things that I have gone through. I am proud for coming out on the other side stronger, wiser, making better decisions for my family and I want to continue to do so. I'm still in that transitionary period of me recognizing things that I need to do to be better and actually doing them. So I'm just in the in-between, because it's like I know what I've gotten a taste of what works for me and what I find can really benefit me. It's just a matter of being consistent with it and setting up my space for success to help me with that. And when I touch on, grounding and just feeling grounded in something that you can pull strength from to help you navigate life, it brings me to my next video, which is about my spiritual journey, how it started, how it's going. Stay tuned for that next week. As you do your end of year reflection and you identify themes, what are your goals for the upcoming year? What are some things that you're going to do differently to have better outcomes or to have desired outcomes? What are some things that you're going to do new? What are your goals for this upcoming year? Make sure you're honest with yourself. Make sure you're digging deep a little bit, you know, because sometimes I even find myself being a little surface level when it's time to express myself or to open up about certain things, even if it's with myself. It's not until I dig really deep that I come to some revelation. So we're not perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not. Nobody's perfect. If you spot some imperfection, some things that you need to work on, kudos to you, because you're being open and honest and you have self-awareness. You are aware of the things that you may do that aren't the best. To be plain and simple, you'll find ways to figure out what those steps are that you need to accomplish your small goals so that you can accomplish your big goals, right? I hope everybody had a good year. Next week, we're gonna be talking about my spiritual journey, and that will lead me into a fresh new year of new beginnings and new knowledge. Just going into the year with knowledge is so important, and being able to put that knowledge to use. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.